I just walked out of my job. I'm so happy. I never have to go back there again for as long as I live. The relief. The relief. The relief. The relief. Good God. God, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Hi, I'm Kat, and I recently quit my job. And I want to talk about why I quit and how I quit. But first, I want to let you know that I created Rebloom Room to help you and myself get closer to whatever it is that brings us joy. So I kind of lost my way in part because of all of the stress that was going on around my job, and I just didn't feel like I could talk about joy when I was feeling so off. So here I'm back. And even when your job is stressing you out and really taking you away from what you thought you wanted to be doing or how you know you want to feel, it's still hard to quit. It's reason number one that I quit my job was that there was consistently low morale there. I don't think I've ever worked at a place before where the morale was so consistently low. It was just very bad. There were multiple, it was a union shop. I think we're part of the communications, like the journalists union. And there were multiple grievances the union had filed against the organization for just the crappy behavior that we were experiencing. And when I first got there some years ago, like I think I worked there for 6 years. Like when I first started, um, the organization was losing so much money that they put the staff on furlough, meaning I think we worked and got paid for like 4 days a week for a while. So yeah, the organization is a membership organization, and from the day that I started to now, it's just consistently been losing members. And the audience of people that the organization is trying to get as members, the people don't like this organization. The people that it's trying to woo really just don't like it. So it was kind of not the best place to be. Oh, also, HR knew that there was a bully on staff, and this woman was like bullying people so much that they would cry in the bathroom. This was not in my department, thankfully, but there were people who would go home and like literally sage themselves to get her like icky energy off of them. Multiple people quit, and multiple people went to HR to complain, and HR did nothing to end this reign of terror. It was bad. That went on for few years, and fortunately, my manager and the head of my department, they were both able to protect most of our staff most of the time from this bully. So it was something that I just watched from the sidelines, and it was horrible to watch, inexcusable for an organization that has like a code of ethics, and it has like had at least a DEI department, and all of these lofty statements about how they are interested in supporting people and treating all people with dignity, and just it was just say one thing, but then your behavior is very different. And that led to low morale, and it led to sort of this sense of like just mistrust, a lot of mistrust. The second reason that I needed to leave was that the staff was being required to come back into the office. And after 3 years of not having to go into the office at all, um, after 3 years of working our asses off to keep the organization afloat, like I know my team really, really worked hard during the pandemic, really, really worked hard, because there were certain things that we had to do to get information out to our members that directly affected their work. That was crucial information that they needed. So we worked really hard to make sure that they had what they needed, and our membership saw an increase at that time because we were being useful to people and they appreciated that. That did not continue. But yeah, we worked our asses off, my team and I. And then suddenly we're getting this sort of language that talks about, we need to, as an organization, we need to be in the office in order to, I don't know what. Actually, I never heard an explanation. I just heard come in. An explanation was, we're paying rent, therefore we need to use the rooms. This is really hard to talk about. It's really hard to talk about because there's a lot of anger and there's just a lot of exhaustion and there's a lot of relief, so much relief. Working from home was a sort of buffer against like that bully, against all of the nonsense, the, double speak, all of the sort of low morale that I knew was part of the staff there. Working from home gave me that distance where I didn't have to, immerse myself in it. So going into the office, I did it for 3 days a week for 3 weeks, and that was really the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not coming in here. There was no reason. I had worked for 3 years, not coming into the office, and I am wasting a whole lot of time on the metro, walking to the metro, making a lunch. I've proven to you that I can do my job very well from home, and now you're telling me that I can't. Make it make sense. You can't. Oh, also, my teammates did not live in the area, and so they didn't have to come into the office. I had a teammate who moved from the local area to a couple states over, like 2 states up. Good for her. She didn't have to come in, but punishing me for not leaving the state doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm still here. My family's here. I'm not leaving right now. So you're punishing me by making me waste 10 hours a week coming into the office. No comprendo. Another reason was that once people did come into the office, 6 of them were immediately fired. They came into the office. Someone, I guess HR, took their laptop, took their key card, and told them to go home. End of story. One of those people was someone on my team who had been with the organization for 18 years, and that was the thanks that he got. He's invited to apply for the position again. The position has been consolidated, so 6 people, 6 positions are now 2.5 positions. The half positions have already been filled. So now there are 2 positions. And if he applies for one of those positions, basically he'll be doing the work of 2 or 3 people. So make that make sense. I mean, it's your right to fire it's a company's right to fire people. Absolutely, 100%. It's your right to fire them. It's your right. They have every right, and I have every right to quit. That's work. You can fire me. I can quit. I just feel like firing somebody after 18 years, just really pulling the rug out from under someone. It just revealed a lot about that organization, that the doublespeak. I couldn't. Okay, the fourth thing that led me to realize I needed to quit my job was that we had a high-ranking person in the organization who got a cancer diagnosis, who chose to continue working, I think probably with a scaled back, it was scaled back, but this person was still working to a certain extent, continued to work. So it was like a position that was like, I think it was a 2 or 3 year position or something. And up until the day before that position ended, this person was working. And just before it ended, she died. And I can tell you, it took a few weeks or a month or something until it really hit me, just like, she worked until she died. Like, she did not stop working. And that was her choice. It was her choice. I think maybe she wanted to leave a legacy, make sure that people remembered her, make sure people, knew that she was there doing great work. And she was. And I just felt like there's more to life. There's more to life than work. And I will not literally work myself until the day I die. I just can't. So many final straws. Another one was that the HR director was mad at me for taking sick days. My doctor had told me to reduce my stress and to reduce my screen time. And I did that by taking sick days. HR was pissed off about that, told me that I had no right to take my sick days, et cetera, et cetera. It was a whole thing. I don't want to get into it. It was a lot of nonsense. But basically, I was like, I have more than enough sick days. I have so many sick hours that I have not used, and I have not abused the system as you are accusing me of. If I abuse the system, why do I have so many sick hours left? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I had a call with the HR director at some point, and she was going on, and I was just like, whatever, lady. I had my headphone in, and it was plugged into an IG Live with Trisha Hersey, who was talking about rest and unplugging from capitalist systems and the fact that I do not need to suffer. And that was what I was listening to as the HR director was talking about whatever the hell she was talking about, because I was not interested at all. I was interested in my freedom and my rest. I guess the final reason would be that I feel like I was censoring myself. Like, I wasn't going on YouTube and I wasn't talking about what was going on. I felt tired and like beleaguered, and I felt like I didn't want to blow up my whole work situation. I wanted to be able to leave it when I was ready. Not flip over any desks or tables, and not, put anybody on blast, because that's not my style, and also because I wanted to control the timing of it. So yeah, self-censorship, didn't like that at all. did not like feeling like I can't talk about what's going on. It was horrible.
Okay, so we've got about 5 days till I quit. This is going to be up and coming, my last week at my current job, and I feel so tired, and I feel like I have been censoring myself for so long.
So I guess to talk about like how I did it, how I quit my job. So the skills that I have are I do everything online. I don't know, I hate the title that I've been given, but it's a digital content strategist. So I work with words online, put it that way, written words mostly. But I also produce podcasts. I, help organizations restructure their websites and migrate from one content management system to another. I do a lot of that. And so what I did was, knowing that the skills that I have are very transferable, I zhuzhed up my LinkedIn based on advice that I was seeing from different recruiters on that platform. I also redid my resume. Like I always keep my resume up to date, but I redid it using a template from Canva that was on Canva, using advice that I'd seen from recruiters and resume writers on LinkedIn. And I started replying back to recruiters who had reached out to me on LinkedIn. Before, I just kind of thought, oh, it's a recruiter. It's just, I'm not interested. I don't feel like going through the whole recruiter rigmarole. But I ended up getting my next gig through a recruiter. And there was indeed a lot of rigmarole, like a lot of rigmarole. The number of pieces of paper that I had to sign and the hoops that I needed to jump through to get this gig, there was a lot, but I think it's worth it. I think it was worth it in the end. I also used tips and skills that Libria Jones shared with us at her Get Remote Work Summit and at Exodus Summit. She talked to us about getting clarity. So ask for clarity. So I did ask questions on the interview that I had for the gig that I have now. And I asked very clearly, do I need to be in the United States for this position? And they said, nope, you don't. We don't care where you are. You don't have to be in any state. You don't have to, it doesn't matter what country you're in. That's fine. As long as you're, responsive within, these certain business hours. They're good. So I got that clarity so that I could move forward with that gig. There were some gigs that were, you see a lot of gigs that are sort of like, oh yeah, work from home, but you have to live in, Montana. You can't live in Maine. Like they have all these, restrictions that are based on their corporate structure and taxes probably. So yes, clarity, very important. I did also make some light inquiries about the pay rate, about the possibility of maybe increasing it, and the pay rate from the time when I first talked to the recruiter to the time that I got the offer, the pay rate was bumped up a nice bit. So that was good. That was also good. So yeah, that's how I did it. Hope that's helpful to someone. So lessons that I learned about this through this whole process. If you see a red flag, see it. One thing that the anti-HR lady talks about is documenting anything that you see that's not going well with your job. Also, great things that you're doing, should document it. Document anytime someone congratulates you on doing something well. That's for people who are really patient. And I just feel like my personal take is They can fire you at any point. You can quit at any point. I don't feel like they owe me anything. That's just me. It's a job. You don't owe me anything. That's my take, but I'm probably wrong, so don't listen to me. They might owe you something. They might very well owe you something if they have broken a law. Yes, if they've broken a law, they probably do owe you something. So that's good. Document. But that's not what this is about. Another one is move in silence if you have to. Sometimes you don't want to be broadcasting, I'm about to quit my job. These people, move in silence if you have to. At the same time, know that the goal of getting out of a place where you're moving in silence is get to a place where you can live your life out loud. And that's a Stephanie Perry quote. Yes, live your life out loud. That's the goal. Quitting a job is like breaking up with someone. It doesn't matter what words you use, as long as you get it done, as long as they understand that it's over. Okay, I have some questions for you. If you recently emancipated yourself from a job, I have some questions. 1, what did you put in place for yourself before you quit? Like, did you zhuzh up your LinkedIn? Did you save up an FU fund? Did you do a whole bunch of informational interviews with alumni from your college? Like, what did you do to prepare yourself? What resources did you use to support yourself in the transition from one job to another or one job to no job? Did you get a coach? Did you read a book? And what book was it? YouTube channels, podcasts. What resources did you use? Or was it like a friend, family member? I would love to hear how you helped yourself and what support you put in place. What words did you tell yourself to support your decision to quit? What was your internal dialogue saying to you about your decision to leave the job? And I'm curious also, what words did you say to tell your workplace that you were leaving? I would love to hear. All right. Thank you for watching. This is my story, and I'm sticking with it. If you stuck with me this far, I really appreciate it, and I would love to hear your answers to the questions that I just asked. I think it's helpful for other people to know how people quit their jobs because, like I said in the beginning, it's really not as easy as you imagine it would be in any scenario, whether it's a good job, bad job, it can be a challenge. So yes, please share your experience in the comments below. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you, each and every one of you. All right. I would love it if you would like the video and subscribe and hit the notifications bell so that you'll know when my next video drops. Bye.